Have you ever wanted to own an authentic arcade machine, but the prices were just too darn high? There must be an easier way to own that game and complete your man cave. And there is! Arcade auctions! Hundreds of games waiting for you, so come on down, bring the kids, bring the dog, and save, save, save. Be there. It may sound like a silly commercial, but it's true. Arcade auctions happen all over the United States and most likely the rest of the world. I visited one recently in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Here's what I saw.
Oh, they already started?
Yep, it started.
As you can see, there are a lot of games and machines here, and the voice you hear in the background is the auctioneer. Each auction company has their own rules on how they conduct business, but this is how an arcade auction generally works. Owners of games who want to sell them bring them to the location the day before the actual auction. Each machine is given a number and placed out on the floor. The following day, there's a period of about 2 to 4 hours for potential bidders to walk around and inspect all the machines. Most serious bidders bring along an extension cord to plug in the machines in the limited power outlets. And I've seen a few scuffles break out because someone unplugged a machine that someone else was testing so they can test their own machine. Many games' coin doors are open or unlocked so you can peek inside the cabinet, and many are set on free play. Some machines work, and some don't. It's your responsibility to figure out if it's a simple fix or if the machine's a dead duck. When that machine goes on the block and it doesn't turn on, that severely affects the bidding price. And if you know your stuff, you can snatch a $1,000 machine for just $75 or so. Bidding on these machines, you'll find arcade owners, resellers, enthusiasts, and just average people looking to add a machine in their home. It's that last group who usually gets the game they want, because they don't really know the value of these machines and they may be willing to pay a higher price for that one game that they absolutely want than the pros are willing to do because they're there to buy as many bargains as possible. Chances are those pros might be back the very next year selling the same machine they bought today, so it's worth it for them to buy at the lowest price. Many auctions collect a bidder's fee to register, which is usually around $10. They'll give you a card or a paddle with your ID number on it so you can bid. If you aren't registered, you won't be allowed to bid on the machine. If you win the machine, you'll immediately pay the cashier the price plus a premium of around 15%. Some auctions will knock off 5% if you pay cash. This is how the auction makes its money. So, sellers usually pay nothing to the auction house. That encourages them to come with their machines in the first place. Bidders have to register and pay a small fee if they bid or don't. And winners have to pay a 10 to 15% premium on the bid price. And the final thing is, you have to get your machine out as soon as possible. And they don't deliver. After all that, you still will save a lot of money over buying it from online sources and most private sellers. Let's just watch it as we go around the room and see what they were actually offering. There were so many different varieties of machines there. A lot of shooting machines with guns, a lot of hunting games. There were a lot of games from the 80s and early 90s. And you'll notice on every arcade machine somewhere, usually on the marquee, there'll be a little sticker with a number. That identifies the actual game. So when it goes on the block, they would do the general announcement of the machine, tell you a little bit about it. If it was working or not working, just by plugging it in right there on the spot. And you bid on it, and then they would tally what number won it with your ID according to what machine you won. And then when you go to the cashier, they would match you up and you would pay whatever was the winning bid, because there's someone there tallying this live as it's happening. You'll notice a lot of the machine screens are unplugged. Now that doesn't mean that they're not working. That just means that the machine is not plugged in for the most part. And if you had your outlet, you would be able to go behind the machine, plug it in, and then find an outlet to plug it. Some are plugged in, some are not, and some really just don't work. Again, you'd have to find out and know your stuff. And it also helps if maybe you bring someone along with you who knows a little bit about electronics, who might know a little bit about arcade machines. It would behoove you to do that, because if you found a machine that you really wanted and it had a problem, maybe the colors were off on the screen, there might be a new monitor that you might need, or a new capacitor kit to clean it up, or some other thing that could be easily done. A non-working machine, a lot of folks won't touch it, and you'll start the bid with a very low price, and hopefully if you want it, you can snatch it for a great deal. Just take a look at the size of this place. It just goes on and on. It was pretty impressive. On a personal level, I really didn't see anything that I would have spent money to buy. I have frequently bought machines from auctions. I've sold things at auctions. But I didn't see anything that really caught my eye. And that's just a matter of taste. There were a lot of nice games there. I mean, The Simpsons being one of them is a fantastic game. There was a couple of Street Fighters there, Tekken. This hat trick that we're coming across was interesting because it did not have a joystick that worked. I tried it out. The Player 1 joystick didn't work. Now that's what I mean by an easy fix. Replacing that joystick would cost maybe under $35. And that might knock off the price on the bid by a couple of $100. A lot of fighting games. There were some MAMECADE machines, and if you know what a MAMECADE is, it's an actual machine that is licensed to play many different arcade machines in one cabinet. They're totally legal. These are licensed by the owners. There's a Dig Dug cabinet playing a non-Dig Dug game. I didn't catch what it was, but it was certainly not Dig Dug in there. That Miss Pac-Man has a problem. There's a monitor issue. Again, it could be a simple fix. I would think it is, personally, but I don't know. These are a lot of fun for bars. Electronic darts, fantastic. And they're used with these plastic tips. And when you see someone fixing it, that's usually an owner who has encountered a problem and is trying to get it working again. I saw a couple of people working on their machines. That's a scary sign when you see someone working on a machine right there at the auction. Discs of Tron. Or even skee balls there, and pool tables, and foosball, and air hockey. I didn't see any Donkey Kong or Donkey Kong Jr., oddly enough. There were a lot of games, but there were a lot of fringe games. Things that you would consider the big classics. I didn't see many of. There were Ms. Pac-Man's there, but I didn't see a lot of the big classics that you would expect. Here's a nice skee ball. It was a hot pink skee ball. Very interesting. There's a lot of these big machines here. Really big machines. A lot of air hockey, foosball. You see the air hockeys are all on their side. That's the way they put them out because they're so massive. Pool tables, same thing. They usually put them on their sides. And there were quite a few pinball machines there. And all the pinball machines seemed to be really clean and in working order. The only one I saw that they had some problems with was the Addams Family pinball machine that they were working on off and on the whole day there. As you can see, there it is. That's the bottom of the pinball play field, which is very interesting to see. There were plenty of driving games on hand as well. Motorcycle games. I saw a child actually playing one of these games and the seat was not screwed in to the machine and he just tipped over. There's a whole other room full of things. These are all crane machines, the kind that has the big mechanical arm that drops and tries to pick up a prize. A lot of machines that kids can ride. Such a huge, huge show. They had plenty of jukebox machines where you pay per play. Now here we have some small cocktail table games. These are always fun to play. You don't see them all the time. They had about 4 or 5 of them there at the auction with different games in there. I always like these kind of games. Here's one of those multi-cades I was talking about in a cocktail table format. Here's a classic. This has started all the fighting games. Good old Karate Champ. I wasn't kidding when I said bring your kids. And here we have a small army of touchscreen games. They usually come with a bill validator that takes dollars and $5 bills, and they come with a bunch of touchscreen games. These are very popular at bars. No joystick required. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed seeing how those in the know snag classic arcade machines for a fraction of the normal cost. And you can find these auctions by searching the net. So good luck, and thanks for watching MAMECADE.com.